Hello everyone, this is Dan and welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be showing you how to fix a vehicle that was infested with mice and the problems that it came with. So if you have a problem like this, you can stay tuned to see what we did to get rid of them. Now if you leave a car parked outside, especially for a very long time, you might get a mouse or two living inside. This truck was parked outside, away from the house over the course of the summer. And yes, it does have mice. Now, the mice left two problems. One, a foul smell. It smells disgusting inside. You can't even drive the truck when the window's open, so we're gonna have to find out where they died, get rid of them. Number two, they chewed on the wires. So the dash looks like a Christmas tree. There's lights all over the place. They're flashing, they're blinking. We have to fix that. Now, the truck has a lot of wires. There's wires underneath the hood, there's wires underneath the dash, and there's wires underneath the carpet. So we have to figure out where they chewed them to try to fix that problem. So after we're done with this video, if you have a problem with mice in your car of a smell or wires, you can watch this video to see where most likely they are in your car and where they nested and how to get them out of there. So let's see where we find them and let's see if we can fix the problem that they caused. So far we took out the seats, the carpet, a lot of the plastic, a lot of the dash components so I can see inside the dash. Now, I still didn't get to see any wires that were chewed up inside the dash because the whole dash is still there, even though I can see, in there. Now, I did find a lot of the places where they were bedding, and I found a ton of mouse poop. I mean, it's loaded, so there must have been either a lot of them or just they were there for a very long time. Now, what I went back to is I checked into the hood the first time, didn't see anything. Everything looked fine. There's still a lot of wires there, but they were all in their plastic cases. So I ended up, after doing this, let me check it thoroughly so I can rule that out. So what I did is I ended up taking off the whole fuse box, and because it kind of almost looked like a place where they could, if there is space in there, they could kind of use it as a home. So I ended up taking that off and I still didn't see it. And then I'm like, before I put it on, let me just take it apart completely. So what I ended up doing is I completely flipped it over, and there you have it. I mean, there is a lot of wires that are chewed and they're touching together, and that's what's causing a lot of the electrical issues. Now, there might be more wires that are chewed that I cannot see, but from so far, this is what we found. Now, if let's say I wanted to fix that and put all those wires in order, if the problems are still there, then obviously I'd have to continue checking to see where else they could have chewed them. But let me take off the camera really quick and show you exactly what I found. All right, so here we are. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of poop here. Okay. Now they did take, there's a lot of spots where they tore off this right here. I'll show you. This is what I found in one of the corners. But let me just go on the other side. So here we are. There's some of the bed, the bedding that they made inside their little hole right here. Now this is right behind the driver's seat inside the pillar. As you can see, there's holes here, and they just crawled in there and made a bed. Now I pulled that out. Now you can see all that poop, and over here there's so much more. Now it's a lot of poop and pee and some of this fiber stuff that's in there. It's really soaky and soggy. I mean, it's a lot. So aside from that, you can see there is poop everywhere. So I mean, they made it everywhere. Now you can see what they chewed. They chewed this cloth or insulation. They chewed it over here. They chewed it everywhere, and you can see there's just poop everywhere you look. All right, guys, I'm just gonna show you where I found the wires after the second time I looked underneath the engine compartment. And here you are. If you can really notice, if you can see in the camera, all these wires are chewed right here. A lot more wires are chewed right there. You can see they tried making a bed here. But yeah, these wires right here, you can see those are all completely chewed. And these right here, and these ones. So these completely, there's some of them that are completely chewed off, where, and then they started, corroding since they were touching each other. So aside from that, let me just show you where I see that they started bedding now. This is what they started chewing. Right here, the insulation. Right here, they chewed it off to make the bed, and then random stuff that they find outside. Now, this is the pillar right behind the driver's seat, and it's a nice little spot, little hole. It gets to the right of the, you know, it looks like a perfect spot to make a little bed. And it looks like they tried making little beds, and then they gave up, picked a better spot. Now, even in here, all the vents, you can see that there's some insulation there. In all the vents of the vehicle, most likely there is inside this box. This is where the heat core goes through to give you the heat and the AC. And there's the air box, and then it connects to your outside for the fresh air to come in. You got the fan blower motor in there. So I'm assuming there's a big bed in there, because you can see that they even made inside here, there's little spots where they started to make a bed. Let me go on the other side and I'll show you in the side pillars, wherever you kind of have a little cavity, they want to make a bed. So over here, if you can see this, they started making a bed in there, and then in here I took all that stuff out. It looks like they just kind of gave up. Also in the vents, if you can see that in the vent, there's stuff in there that just shows you in all the vents. I don't even know how they get in there, but I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm gonna point it right in there, right in that crevice. There's a huge bed under there. You can see it's just tons of insulation and leaves, grass that they used. As you can see, this connects to those vents. A lot of stuff in here. So there's a lot of, I mean, I did not find any mice yet that are dead, so maybe they didn't die in here. It's just a smell from that much poop. But this is how far we got, and now we're kind of just deciding, trying to see, is it worth continuing? Because to do this right, to get everything out, you have to change all this soak through insulation that is bitten all over the place. I mean, you have to take everything out of here so you can actually power wash all of this. And still, we didn't even touch the dash and see what kind of damage is underneath the dash, and to get all that smell out, especially from the heat core. I mean, if that smells like that, I mean, you'd have to even take that apart completely just to get to it. So trying to figure out, do we continue, you know, doing this or not? And I'm thinking it's just going to be a truck that's just going to be a goner. So yeah, hopefully this helps. Each vehicle is different, but at least you can kind of see where they would be. A lot of the time they're inside the heat core and inside all the vents, and that's usually where they do die, and that's where you have a lot of the nasty smell. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it was very educational for those of you who have this problem and trying to figure out what to do. You can kind of get an idea where they are, how to find the problem, and where the problem might be. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe. That definitely helps, and I'll see you next time.